Hello and welcome to another Business Watch one-on-one exclusive interview with top accountants and CPA firms in the U.S. today. Let's get started with our first business inquiry. When hiring an accountant, what would you say are some of the key qualities to look out for?
Well, I think first and foremost, one should look for a CPA. It means that they've passed a rigorous education. It's usually a four-year college degree. And 10 of those units must be in accounting or related fields. I think they should also look for an individual who has experience, with the tax law and representing clients in front of the IRS. I think that's extremely important if you're going to have somebody prepare your return, if that's one of the things that you're looking for. A CPA accountant would also, be versed in many aspects of how a business should be set up and run. Should it be set up as a corporation or a sole proprietorship, a sub-S corporation, or what kind of books and records should be kept for that type of business? Is it a double entry accounting set of books or single entry? Depending on the tax form that you take determines what kind of entity or what kind of bookkeeping you should have set up. And also that they have the desire to help the client, which is actually very, very important, that you have a sincere desire to make that client, to help that client with all of their needs and not be just looking for things that might benefit just themselves, but looking for the client's needs and putting those needs ahead of all else. So I think, aside from all the technical things that we talked about, one should actually have that client's best interests in mind. And without that, then I don't think any of the other things really are going to matter that much.
There are many types of CPA firms out there. Some do audits, some only do taxes, and others like yours that combine both tax and financial services. What are the advantages of working with a firm like yours that offers both?
I think it's important that a client use a CPA that has both knowledge in taxation and investment strategy. I think the two work hand in hand, and if you try to do one without the other, you're probably not going to get the best returns you might otherwise be able to get. For instance, under the current law, the tax rate for capital gains is 15%, and next year, under the current administration tax law, it may be 20%. And so if you have a choice between selling an investment with a large capital gain this year or next, you may want to actually take it this year versus next. There are other things that come up in the course of doing a tax return that may be advantageous. There are many life events that can take place and help drive investment selection. For instance, the birth of a new child. There may be an education requirement and need, and the client is probably not thinking about that right away. But with the time value of money, 18 years is a long time. You may want to, set up a type of account that is tax efficient and also would, fund that educational need in 18 years. So I think that a CPA firm that actually handles both the tax and the, financial planning aspect of it is probably a better fit for most people, and the CPA is the most likely person to fill that position.
As a registered principal of SagePoint Financial, why should an independent representative want to work with SagePoint as opposed to other broker-dealers?
Well, SagePoint Financial has one of the most competitive payouts of any of the broker-dealers that are out there. We also have one of the strongest platforms for trading, and the technology is probably second to none. We have Vision 2020, we have NetX 360. These are platforms that have been developed for SagePoint and offer the registered rep an incredible ability to be able to make trades and the execution of transactions that would be for the benefit of the client. We have access to 13,000 different stocks and mutual funds and variable annuities. We don't have to use a particular one. We're allowed the discretion and use our own judgment that would meet the client's needs as opposed to having to pick a particular product that may be driven by the broker-dealer. So we're allowed the independence to make those kinds of selections that more or less differentiates a independent rep from a wirehouse rep. I think, aside from all the technical things that we talked about, one should actually have that client's best interests in mind. And without that, then I don't think any of the other things really are going to matter that much.
Thank you for watching another edition of Business Watch One-on-One. We'll see you next time.